Hello knitters, Faylin from Strands Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California, and I have classes today, so stay tuned. Today's going to be very short and sweet, I guarantee it. The class coming up this Saturday, I hope a lot of you come. It's like half full at the moment. So is our Santa pillow. Yay, Santa pillow. And I know one of my people found the Believe pillow. Believe pillow, which looks like sheep wools, which is so cool. This is so cool. It's at Home Goods. I don't know if they're still there, but I got them at Home Goods. So I would get to Home Goods if you're wanting to make this, even if you're not going to come this Saturday, but you know you're going to want to make it. Even if you think you'll make it like next year, I might get the pillow because the pillow's cute all by itself. You can put the pillow up just as is. And then, but then if you end up making the Santa, you've got the pillow. Now you don't have to have a pillow. You can do, you're knitting the front of the pillow. So I sewed this onto the pillow. So this panel is what we made. And then I sewed it onto the pillow. You can also do fabric. You can knit a back of a pillow. You can then put a pillow inside of it and it all works. So there's lots of options, lots of options. So this pillow is 12 by 16, 16 by 12 is what this turns out to be. And yes, you could mess around with it and make it like a 12 by 12 or a 16 by 16. All those are possibilities. But this is Home Goods, Believe. So this is Saturday from 12 to 2, and this is in Tarja, which means you're knitting with one color, then you have to trade the color and you just twist the yarn. Now you're knitting with that color, and then you twist the yarn, now you're knitting with that color. So you're not carrying it with you, you're only working with one yarn at a time, and you're twisting it just to connect the colors together. And then underneath the beard here is seed stitch, which is knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. And that's made it so it's easier to get the little tassels through the stitches, and also guides you really well. Like it's really easy to guide. And then a pom-pom, which we make from our Clover pom-pom makers at the top. And then I did crochet this nose, but then I realized that there's also this nose where you just knit a very small rectangle, like you cast on 6 stitches and you knit it for 10 rows or something like that. And then you fold it in half and it makes a great nose, and it's super easy. So, so that's what I suggest for the nose instead of having to crochet a nose. But yeah, so the class is this Saturday and you'll get it started. So we'll start at the bottom. And by the time you leave, you will have done this process quite a bit. So you'll be able to do the pillow. It's really just not that hard. It's not that hard a technique. And once you get it down, you get it down. So Saturday from 12 to 2, Santa. Okay, next class is Sunday, November 3rd. Sunday, November 3rd. And it's the Santa and the Snowman hat. So here's my Santa. He still needs a nose. He doesn't have a nose yet. So something really interesting happened. So this is bigger. The pattern has you on fingering, you end up with like something this big. So this guy's bigger, which means he'd make really good decor into a scene. So I was starting to sew up the bottom because he's sewn up like they're just flat like that. And I sewed up a couple stitches in the middle. Then I was helping people because I was doing it during a workshop. So then I'm helping people, and he was sat down, and then I looked at it and I went, oh my gosh, he now has feet. So, see, now I'm going to leave it as is. You could get some felt and just cut it out and, stick the felt through or glue it in or something if you didn't want, like if you have little guys and you don't want the stuffing coming out. And then there'll be an orange and carrot nose right here at the end of, by the end of today, there'll be a nose. But anyways, oh my gosh, this is perfect. He stands really well. It's super simple. So that's the change I made by accident. I love when accidents happen and they're like, oh my God, that's really cute. So that's the Santa, and this is the this is the snowman. Here's the Santa. Santa I'm casting on now because we just got the yarn in that I was going to use. And so here are our colors. They're beautiful colors. And this is a DK. So you could do this.
Okay, so there's no green in the Santa, but we got the green because like to do those trees I showed you last week and some other things, we needed green too. So that came in for Christmas, but yeah, no green in Santa.
This too, it's all, it's all the same. And so these are the color of the Santa. Now Santa's a little bit more complicated. This Super simple, super simple. It's all done flat and you're just striping hats and it's really super simple. So with the Santa, you have a face, so you got a face and you have a beard. And so it's a little bit more involved. It's still knit flat, but you're going to be, I think, using a bit of intarsia. I haven't knit it yet, so I'll know by time class. I'll know whether it's intarsia or if we're going to Fair Isle it. I really don't know at the moment. But it is a little bit more involved. It's not necessarily harder, it's just more involved. There's more steps than compared to the little snowman, which is super simple. So, but here are the colors that we got in for Santa. So he's going to be beautiful. Beautiful. So the Santa and snowman, and all these are flat. So you're not, even though they're round, you're knitting them flat and then you're sewing up the seam, which isn't hard and stuff. So, and then the nose and stuff are safety eyes, but you can also use buttons if, you know, or you can use embroidery. You can embroider the eyes and do French knots for the buttons. You don't have to have the safety eyes. I will have safety eyes here that you can have and use for your first one. I don't have enough for everything, but and again, this is a perfect multiple, especially the snowman would go really fast. I mean, it wouldn't take very long to knit it up. And so these are your multiple ideas. Another idea for multiples, if you got book clubs and all that kind of stuff, people, a large family that you just do small things for, you know, that kind of thing. So this class is Sunday, November 3rd. That would be from 10 to 12. The last class I'm going to talk about today is the felted slippers, which I've talked about. So I got the felted slippers. They're done with this yarn. These are done on big needles and you throw them in your washing machine and it felts them. So this class is Wednesday. So it's a Wednesday from 4 to 6 on November 6th. So Wednesday, November 6th from 4 to 6. So I'm sticking this class on midweek class. And so this is, yep, felted slippers. And felting's a lot of fun. You might, once you do something, you might really like it. Now your machine, sometimes we have issues with the machines actually felting. And so, I'm going to have you try it in your machine because if you can get it to felt, then you can felt a lot of things. And as I said, felting's really fun. So it may just take longer. It's going to take longer in your, if you've got a newer machine. If you got an old machine that agitates really well, the new ones also, when they agitate, they're just doing this. They're just swishing. I call that swishing, not agitating. Agitating, you know, the old ones where they go like this. They felt like they're fabulous for felting. So if by chance you can't get it felted, I can felt it for you because I have an old machine and it felts just nice. But I want you to really try to get it done on your own because then you know whether or not felting can be something that you might want to get into. You can felt hats. We've got felted coasters, which actually are really, really good. The felted coasters. Bags are great for felting. So there's lots of things you can do with felting. So give it a shot. And I told you it was going to be short and sweet, and that's it for today. And I hope to see you. Need to be in the studio real soon. I don't hope to see you. You need to be in the studio real soon now because we're into crunch time, and it's time to, you know, start thinking about it. Get some stuff for hats and scarves, and I've got hats and scarves coming up in a couple of weeks, and the smaller projects are now going to start showing up that you can do relatively quickly because you're running out of time. So I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.